I got it. I want it. I got it.
Listen.
This is another update. Andrew Morrow in Portland, Oregon, facing 25 to life for defending myself against my roommate who had jumped me with his girlfriend, pulled what looked to be a pistol out on me. Neighbors told me go away. I ran back into my apartment, tried to hide. I had to get weapons to defend myself because I did not want to die curled up in a ball.
Please! You guys! Please, can I come in?
On.
He has a gun! Please let me come in!
No.
No, he has a gun, can I come in?
Apartment, tried to hide. I had to get weapons to defend myself because I did not want to die curled up in a ball. Let's start from the beginning. When I asked him to not have his girlfriend over so much, it felt like she lived there. They were constantly bickering and arguing, and I'm just not a part of that. I didn't want any domestic violence at my house. I didn't know at the time that his previous roommate had actually called the cops on him 4 times for that same reason, domestic violence, and he finally was attacked for asking him not to have his girlfriend over. I know a lot of people said that, this email that I brought up between his father coming into the district attorney's office didn't prove anything. They said, what's an email? But I just wanted to read to you guys really what was said, because it says that they met with his father on Monday morning, December 19th in a conference room. The conversation was not recorded. They did not have an investigator present to take notes because they expected it to be fairly routine meeting with the victim's parent. They were wrong, they said. I was wrong. His father wanted me to know that his son, Jemiah, had a history of violent outbursts and had been diagnosed with intermediate explosive disorder. He explained that his son had been in and out of the criminal justice system throughout his teenage years. He said that Jemiah had a pattern of not getting along with roommates and that Jemiah's girlfriend was often at the center of the conflict. He said that Jemiah was not permitted to live in the family home because of his violent outbursts. He described several specific incidents that had occurred over the years. He said that his son would fly into rage and essentially black out. I've asked the detectives to reach out to his dad and interview to memorialize this in the report. So I'm hoping to get, if they did go to his father and get that report, I'm hoping to get that. I'm very disappointed that my case was even being brought up to stay on trial for the simple fact is that this man had an MO. He constantly would destroy someone's home, assault them, and the criminal justice system kept letting him get away with it. When he attacked me and I was holding his hands and he bit my thumbnail off, I never let go. I still was holding his wrist to prevent him from hitting me. I was telling his girlfriend to call the authorities, and she refused. She held me down with him. That's when he bashed me in the top of the head, gave me 4 stitches on the top of the head. I want everyone to see really what happened to me, because when you just see me today, you think, oh, thumb was bit off, can't tell. Well, it happened, and it was real. After he bit my thumbnail off, they held me down while he hit me. I pulled her on top of me, and I said, I told you he was going to hurt me if I let him go. That's whenever he destroyed my computer. He ran outside, came back and kicked the door in. That's when he hit me with the slap from the door. It's hard for me to even speak of the trauma that I experienced. I was so scared in that moment. I ran out after he pointed the gun at me to the neighbor's home. I banged on their door. I really would love to show everyone the Ring doorbell footage. When they told me go away. So when he exited my apartment, I ran back in there to hide. Fearing for my life, I didn't feel like there was nowhere to hide. I didn't want to die curled up in a ball. So I armed myself. And when he came back in and he kicked that door in, I had to defend myself. I told him go away and he tackled me. And that's whenever I ended the threat, and I didn't know what else to do. This man, when he mentioned rage, I've never seen that before in my life. Like, there was no emotion in his eyes. He looked like he was in a trance. Whenever I was put in handcuffs, I told them, I said, he was either on drugs or he was possessed. If you guys find it in your heart, give Sengo, Drumo, DREWMOW. I wouldn't hurt a fly. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I've lost everything. I lost my apartment that I had for 7 years that I tried to open up to someone, to be kind, to be friendly, to help him elevate himself, to get off of his, to get on his feet, to get off of, renting a room and get his own place. And I even mentioned that him and his girlfriend could get their own place, that I would help and search for that. So just thank you for your time.
In a world where defending oneself can lead to a life-changing series of events, one man finds himself in a fight for his freedom. Drew Mel, a man pushed to the edge, is facing the unimaginable. Accused of murder, he now stands to spend the next 25 years of his life behind bars. Drew Mel states, "It all started on that fateful night, December 9th. I asked my roommate not to have his girlfriend move in. Little did I know it would escalate into a life or death struggle." Drew Mel stated, "My roommate, Jamiel Shirley, and I found ourselves in a physical struggle within our apartment. The judge ruled that the state hadn't shown sufficient evidence that I intended to kill Shirley. In a desperate attempt to defend himself, Drew armed himself with 2 large butcher knives, 1 in each hand." Drew Mel stated, "I armed myself and stood in front of the door, and it was like my last stand. I stood as big as I could to appear larger, similar to how people are instructed to respond when they see a bear." Drew Mel also states, "Shirley forced his way inside and lunged at me. He tackled me, and in the midst of the struggle, I plunged the knives to protect myself. Shirley collapsed in the parking lot of the Meadow Park East, while Drew, in a panic, ran back to the apartment and locked the door." The prosecution argues that Drew's actions were intentional, but the judge ruled otherwise. Judge Dolan stated, "I can't say by clear and convincing evidence that at the time he pulled the knives and stabbed down, he was trying to kill the victim. Despite the ruling, Drew's life hangs in the balance. He needs your support to ensure justice is served. Join us in supporting Drew Mel's fight for justice. Your donations can provide him with the legal representation he deserves. Visit the Give Send Go campaign by Andrew Morrow and stand with Drew. Stand with Drew. Together, we can fight for justice."